Hey there guys, welcome to the video. Thank you very much for tuning in today. We're going to be looking at a Strand Titan build today, and it's going to be revolving around barricade and Abeyant Leap, two Strand exotics that may not seem to have a lot of synergy on paper, but in practice they do work very well together. We're going to be pairing these alongside Drenger's Lash, Into the Fray and the Shackle Grenade. We're aiming to get as much Suspend against our enemies as possible, because the more Suspend we have, the more orbs we're generating, the more enemies we're locking down, and the more fun we're having. So if you'd like to see a little bit more regarding this build, make sure you stick around, guys. There are timestamps down below, so make sure you stick around. Let's get into things. Let's start with the main character for today. So the barricade, intrinsic trait, panic response. This weapon generates blight, so this is the unique factor of this weapon. As you deal damage, fill up the panic response bar in the bottom left hand corner. You'll essentially get these blighted seekers, and once you've reloaded the weapon and you've got a full bar, you'll unload those seekers into enemies. It's a bit like Malfeasance, where the slugs generate explosions and they do increase damage. Now, alongside this pretty decent trait, we've got a selection of 4 different catalysts. So we've got high impact reserves, hatchling, one for all, and target lock. Now, if we were looking at just big damage using peacekeepers, we'd probably use target lock there. We've opted for hatchling this time round because alongside our fragments, we're going to have the ability to possibly generate 2 hatchlings at a time using barricade. Now, we'll get into our fragments shortly, but we'll go through the rest of our weapons and the Abeyant Leap. So we'll look at our heavy weapon that we're going to be using alongside barricade, and that's the Qua Victus 4. Now, it doesn't look like anything special, but when we're using it alongside Strand mods on our armor set, alongside rewind rounds and slice, this thing it's quite menacing. Does a lot of damage, has the ability to output over 100 rounds per clip, and with slice devastating our opponents, it is a very, very good contender for a nice heavy weapon slot. Now, you also would have noted that we're using the Unstoppable mod on that weapon. That's just to cover our champions. Now, after the last live service update for Destiny 2 in a couple of weeks, there is going to be some changes to the types of frames of these weapons. Now, this is an aggressive frame weapon, so with the update, this is going to be able to still stun Unstoppable champs. So this shouldn't make any difference to the build. It should still be pretty valid after the update goes live. Let's look at our exotic legs quickly. So the Abeyant Leap, as already noted, have a look at the intrinsic trait Puppeteer's Control. So improved Drenger's Lash, so instead of the 1 projectile going out, we get 3 with increased tracking, and we're going to gain Woven Mail every time we suspend targets. Now, with the amount of targets that we can suspend at a time, 3, we're going to get Woven Mail very, very consistently, on top of the fact that when we defeat suspended targets, we're generating orbs. So we're going to be generating orbs very consistently. We'll get our class ability back very quickly as well, alongside our other fragments, which we'll jump into now. Now, these first 2 fragments are basically made for Abeyant Leap, so Thread of Wisdom and Mind. Defeating suspended targets grants class ability and generates orbs of power. So working independently there, but working so well in tandem that they just cannot be separated in this build. They are a must, and they work so well at creating class ability energy. If you defeat an elite enemy while they're suspended, you basically get your entire class ability back again, which you'll be able to shoot out another 3 tracking projectiles with Drenger's Lash. It just works so well. Now, alongside our hatchling perk on barricade, we've got the Thread of Rebirth. Strand weapon final blows have a chance to create a Threadling, so there is the ability to get 2 Threadlings happening after 1 final blow. So you'll get a little harmony happening every now and then when things all align. And alongside our last fragment is going to be Thread of Continuity. So Suspend, Unravel, and Sever, so specifically our Suspend and Sever, are going to last a lot longer, so we get a nice little added benefit. Next is our armor mods, so pretty straightforward. We're going very Strand heavy. Helmet, we've got the Siphon 1 of for Strand weapons, along with 2 of Dynamo, so every time we use our class ability near enemies, we get super energy. Arms is going to be Loader and Dexterity for Strand, so we can get barricade up and running with reload and readiness. Got some Strand ammo generation. That's just so we've got a lot of heavy ammo generating there. Strand power surge in the legs, just so we've got enough damage happening, alongside class ability for our mark. Arm set, we're using Ferropode, nothing special there. There's no specific armor set to require on this build. I will say with stats, you can see there our weapon class and super are quite high. I've opted for a very high class stat. Every time we use our class ability, our shield, we're going to get basically an 80% overshield, depending on how high your stat is. So you're getting a lot of survivability there. Just a quick note, there's a picture of the artifact, just my selections made, nothing special, but they were the most viable options available. Well guys, that's pretty much the build. So we've had a bit of footage in the background. You can see just how many orbs we can create, how many targets we can suspend, and just how much fun this build can actually be. So look, thanks again for checking this one out guys. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, leave me a comment on what you might have done differently. And we're almost at 600 subscribers guys, so if you do like what you see, make sure you subscribe and we'll be getting a ton of new builds happening in the new updates. So hope to see you around. Thanks for watching again, guys. Have a great one. See ya.